Thanks. Okay, welcome everybody. Today's class, the focus is on Revolved Trikonasana, so revolved triangle. And my thought with this pose is that it's a deep twisting pose. And whenever we revolve a pose, right? So we have a lot of postures that we do, and then we have versions of them where we are doing the same posture supposedly, but twisted. So what happens from triangle in its usual stance to revolve triangle is that we actually end up shortening, right? We actually condense the standing position that we're in order to make that twist possible. And I think that's an important thing, that when we are adding any kind of complication or we're adding any sort of pressure of the trunk, is that we have to go back to re-understanding what a stable base is. So what I like about this concept of a revolved position is that it requires you to rethink the pose as you know it, right? So I'm always in this format wanting you to think about what the attitude of a posture is. And revolved triangle is one that can send people into a state of like panic because it's difficult to balance in a deep twist. So it's forcing you to reconsider what stable is, right? You thought you knew what it was in triangle, you thought you knew it was comfortable, and now you have to change it in order to make that position something that is revolved. So this is what we're doing, is re-understanding what a stable base is, so that it allows for there to be a deeper squeeze into the spine, and it allows for there to be a maybe a deeper stretch through the trunk, because it's no longer just going one direction, it's going two directions, right? That's what a twist is you're going in two directions. So that's the kind of fundamentals for this posture, is understanding a stable base and understanding that kind of oppositional spinal energy of twisting. Yeah. So find your comfortable seat, let the eyes close. And just for a moment, let yourself feel your spine. So I want you to feel how it naturally wants to be. Where is there a little bit of natural settling, either into an arched position or a rounded position? And then can you start to feel on every inhale a feeling that you are pulling your spine long? So you're actually pulling up, pulling your weight up out of your pelvis. Then the exhale is still happening, but don't let go of that feeling of lift. And so every inhale is you're engaging internally, lifting taller. And the exhale, you can relax your butt, because your butt's going to do a lot of that work initially. So you can relax your butt, but stay lifted through your spine. Just a couple more breaths like that, inhaling, feeling yourself rising long through the spine, and then relax your butt. And one more time, inhaling, rising through the spine, and relaxing through your seat. And then maintain that lift, hands together at heart center, palm to palm. We'll open with the sound of Om, deep breath in. And let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. Release the hands, please. Let the hands come to the knees or the thighs, and then start to cat-cow your spine. Good. So again, the stable base of the pelvis, but moving the spine as long as it can go. So again, it's not so much a forward and backwards action, but it's a lifting. So every inhale, it's the lift, and every exhale, you don't drop the lift, but you round into the length of your spine going backwards. Good. So I want you to have that feeling that even though you're moving forward and back, you're arching and curling, that you're keeping that feeling of length through your spine, because this is key in twisting, is that there has to be the stability of your back, the stability of your abdominals that holds your spine really long, so that when you twist, you actually revolve, is that there's space in between your vertebra to do that. Because if we're already kind of hunched in, we're already kind of contracted, or we have this downward pressure through the spine, then when we twist on top of that, it runs much more of a risk of us actually squeezing something or pinching something that we don't want to be squeezing or pinching. So even just that, learning to stay really elevated through your spine, it's going to tone a lot of muscles in the back and the abdominals, but it's also going to mean your twisting is more effective. Good. And then come back to stillness, please. Stretch the arms up alongside the ears. Interlace your fingers, press the heels of the hands up to the sky. And then as you exhale, round into your rib cage, push the hands forward, keep your shoulders over your hips. So try not to tuck your tail when you do that. And then inhale, stretch the arms up again, all the way up. And then exhale, curl and round, pushing back through the rib cage. Good. One more time, inhaling, lifting up. Good. And then exhaling, staying just as lifted, but round and push back through the back of your shoulders. Good. And then come all the way back up. Nice job. So release the hands, roll forward to hands and knees, and find your way actually onto your belly. So come onto your belly. Good. Stretch your arms straight out in front of you. So forehead to the floor, arms extended in front of you, legs back behind you. Good. You can point the toes back. So you're doing alternating, right? You're going to lift cross body. So your right leg and your left arm are going to lift at the same time. So lift the right leg and the left arm on an inhale, lift up, and then release down, and then switch to the other side, left leg and right arm lift up, inhale, and then release down, and keep doing that, alternating, lifting up, opposite arm and leg, and down, and then do the other side, crossing the body, and down. Keep going with your breath. Make sure that the arm and the leg are lifting at the same time. So you're not just finding both of them lifted, but you're actually extending as though they're connected to each other. So the ankle and the wrist are connected to each other. As they lift up, they're lifting up coordinated. Good. So this is, again, trying to teach that concept of the cross body awareness, so that when you come into something like Revolved Trikonasana, your back kind of understands how to have opposite sides of your body working together. Good. Nice. Next inhale, lift both legs up. Good. Lift up head, neck, and chest. Float the arms up alongside your ears. Gaze is still down towards the floor, so a long neck. Good. And then kick your feet and pump your arms up and down. Pedal your arms like you're swimming. Good. And I know it's not an actual true thing that you would do if you were swimming, but that's what it's called. So kick your legs, inner thighs working. Good. Try and have your legs lifted just as high as you just had them. So you're still really moving the legs up and down. And then you're pedaling the arms up and down. So again, cross body, upper back and lower body working together. Good. Keep breathing. Nice. Inhale, lift everything, legs and arms. Good job. And then release, please. Nice job, you guys. Walk your hands back alongside your ribs. Press up to hands and knees. Good. Curl into your low belly, curl into your spine just a little bit. Start to press your hips straight back towards your heels. So not into a full child's pose. Keep your knees pointing straight ahead, but push your butt back towards your heels. Good. Keep your low belly curled in just a little bit though. So you're supporting the lower spine, and then push your inner thighs wide, push your butt back, walk your hands forward a little more if you'd like. So you have full length on your spine. Good. So your hips are not going to come completely to your heels, but you're going to keep scooping. So you have that space in your lower back. You feel the pressure there. Good. And keep pressing your inner thighs back and wide, dropping the chest. Awesome. And then back up to hands and knees. Good job. Nice, you guys. Take your right arm out wide to the right. And then slide that arm behind your left wrist. Right shoulder finds the floor. Good. Turn your gaze. Walk the left arm forward to straight. Nice. Press into your shins. So again, this is where we start to get this comprehension of a stable base for twisting. So if you don't press into your shins in a position like this, your pelvis is going to twist with you as you move your shoulders. And then you don't get as much stretch. And your lower back is not held in a position that's really supportive. So you want to press into your shins, press into your right forearm, and then lift your left armpit higher. Yeah. Curl into your low belly so your right low pelvis is pulling wide away from that left armpit. Good. And then come on back up to center. Go to the other side. Left arm goes out wide. Slide behind the right wrist. Left shoulder finds the floor. Turn your gaze. Walk the right arm forward. Again, press into the shins. Good. Press into your left forearm and lift that right armpit higher. And at the same time, pull your left low belly up and wide. Good. Nice. And feel the twist through the ribs, but keep your pelvis level. Keep your shins engaged. Good. And then come all the way back out. Release that. Good. Scoot yourself forward onto your butt, come onto your back, or you can come onto your belly and flip over onto your back, whichever makes you happier. Grab your block. Good. Have a strap nearby. You don't need it yet, but have it within reach. Good. And then come on down to your backs. Bend your knees. Place the block between your upper thighs. Good. And then squeezing the block between the upper thighs, lift your shins parallel to the floor. Good. Stretch your arms out wide, straight out wide from your shoulders. So you can press your palms down. So turn your palms down so that you can really press into the floor with your hands. Good. And then you're squeezing that block, keeping your shins parallel to the floor. And you're going to start to let your knees drop towards the right as though you're going to come into a spinal twist, but only let them go as far as they can without your left shoulder popping up. So as those knees start to go over, keep pressing your left low rib cage down. Good. So you shouldn't be able to come all the way into that twist without a lot of effort. Good. And then from your navel, squeeze in, come all the way back to center. Good. Relax your jaws. So you do it through your back, not through your face. And then let the knees start to drop to the left. Same thing. Squeeze the block so your legs are engaged. And that right shoulder, right low rib cage is pressing back down to the floor. Good. So Joanne, press that right shoulder back down, right rib cage back down. Good. Come back up to center. Try the first side again. Drop the knees towards the right. It's a really fun abdominal exercise. Left shoulder presses down, left rib cage presses down. Good. And again, this is practicing twisting. Knees in the same position. Come back up to center. And now go the other way. This is internally what should be happening in a twist. Let your knees go to the left. Press down through that right shoulder. Good. And then bring it all the way back up. Keep the block between the thighs. Stretch your legs straight up towards the ceiling. Good. And then stretch the arms up alongside your, straight up to the sky. So in line with your shoulders, straight up. Good. Keep that hug of the block. Keep your low back pressing down to the floor. And now you're going to lift a little abdominal work. Your right hand is going to lift and reach for your outer left ankle. So keep your legs exactly as they are. Don't move them, but lift your shoulders and reach your right hand towards your left ankle. And then drop it back down. Good. Don't let your legs swing side to side. Do the other side. Lift up, left hand to right ankle. Good. Come back down. Don't curl those legs in when you lift your shoulders. Good. Lift up right hand to left ankle. And relax it back down. Keep your low back pressed to the floor. Left hand reaches up for right ankle. Good. Relax it back down. Right hand to left ankle. Keep your low back stable. Back to center. Good. Left hand to right ankle. Yep. Come on back. Right hand to left ankle. Yep. Don't jerk yourself into the position. Come on down. Last one, both sides. Left hand to right ankle. Keep your low back pressing to the floor. Come on back. Right hand to left ankle. Last one. Good. And then come back. Good. Release the block from between the legs. Pull the knees in towards your chest. Good. Circle the knees if you'd like. Roll on the back if you'd like. Awesome. And then come back to stillness. Grab your strap. And then bring the strap around the ball of your right foot. Extend your left leg down to the floor. Right leg comes straight up to the sky. So press through that right foot. Good. Shoulders relaxed on the floor. Stretch your left leg out to the ground. Why? Because this is simulating what the legs are going to do in Revolved Trikonasana. So the pelvis in Trikonasana is straight ahead. So one of those principles of twisting is that one part of your spine has to be stable, right? It stays in one place so that the other aspect of your spine or the other end of your spine is able to rotate from that base. So if your pelvis is straight ahead, it's so that your shoulders can twist. alternative is that if our shoulders are staying straight ahead, like we were just doing, is the pelvis can twist, right? But one has to be stable. So in Revolved Trikonasana, that's the hips. Good. So there's a reason why you can't be in that normal triangle position and go into that full twist, because your spine is already rotated in triangle. So you have to bring it back to neutral before you can go into a deeper twist. Push through the ball of that right foot. Dig your left heel down into the floor. Good. And really push that foot into the strap. Push it out, push it out, push it out. And then you're going to just drop the ends of the strap. Don't worry about where the strap lands. Just drop the ends of the strap. Keep pushing out through the ball of that foot. Keep your low belly engaged and bring that heel down to the floor nice and slow. Good. So keep pushing out through the ball of the foot. Keep pulling the thigh up into your pelvis and bring it down to the floor slow, controlled. Nice. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Really good, you guys. Beautiful. And then notice how much more awake that leg feels like than the left one does. Good. So now draw your left knee in towards your chest. Take the strap around the ball of that foot. Good. Stretch the left heel up towards the ceiling. Right heel anchors down to the floor. And again, this is an exercise in keeping the pelvis stable while the legs are reaching in opposite directions. Good. Push the foot up into the strap and press your low back down. Part of that stability that needs to be there for the lower body in a standing twist is that you have to have this action of pulling the hips back. So the spine is lengthening, not just because you're pulling from your shoulders, but because you're pulling back through your hips. So you can start to feel that here by pressing your low back down into the floor and feeling that even though you're pushing through the legs, you're pushing through the feet, that you're still pulling the tops of the thighs into the core of the body, into the center of the pelvis. So push your low back down, pull your thighs in, but push out through your foot. Good. So it should feel like it just makes that leg very, very stable. And then keep pushing out through the ball of the foot. Drop the ends of the strap. Again, don't worry about where it lands. Start to keep pressing out as you start to bring that heel slowly out and down towards the floor. So extend it all the way out and down. Control though. So watch that the navel is engaged and that you're continuously pulling the thigh up and in as you push out through the heel. Good. So we want the legs and the pelvis to feel very, very secure in themselves before you go into the deep twist that is revolved triangle. Good. Now dig both heels down into the floor, toes facing straight up and down. Stretch your arms back alongside your ears or up alongside your ears. Good. So like a supine Tadasana, laying down Tadasana, pull your ribs in. Yeah, really press through the heels of the feet, press the thighs down and in. Beautiful. Nice, you guys. And then maintain that position of your upper body. Take your right leg up to the sky without bending the knee if you can. Good. Yeah, push through the heel just like you have the strap. Scoop that belly. Nice. And now with just that amount of control, take it back down to the floor, nice and slow. Beautiful. Your abdominals are going to be so happy tomorrow. Your legs too. Really good. As that right heel finds the floor, keep it there. Same thing. Make sure the back of your rib cage is anchored, back of your pelvis is secure. Take the left leg up. Good. Notice the subtle little rotations that happen as that leg comes higher and higher. You're maybe able to feel more of your lower back anchored to the floor. Good. Keep pressing out through that heel. Keep your ribs anchored. Nice. So you're extending the legs, both legs. Good. And then start to take that left leg back down to the floor. Same control. Really good. Nice, you guys. As that left heel finds the floor, take your right leg up again. got it. Good, stretch your arms straight up towards the ceiling, combining two things that were maybe terrible but on their own. Let's see if they're better together. You're gonna lift your left hand up to reach for your right foot. So that crossing twist, that twisting abdominal work again. Good, and then take it down. Stay on the same side, keep that leg lifted. Good, exhale, reach up again, reaching the hand to the outer ankle and release. Good, one more time this side, both legs keep extending. Exhale, reach up. Good, from your navel, you're twisting, keep that left thigh down. Good, and then release, nice job, pull the right knee in towards your chest. I know. And then extend that right leg down to the floor. Good job. Anchor that heel. Take your left leg straight up. So not bending the knee in towards the chest. Just take it straight up. Good. And then lift both arms, reaching towards the sky. Nice. And now it's the right hand is going to reach for your left ankle. So as you exhale, reach up on the diagonal, reach the right hand for that outer edge of your leg, but try and keep your sacrum anchored and then come on down. Good. Exhale again as you rise up, reach right hand to left ankle. Good. Don't do it from your neck. And then release. Last time, really pressing the sacrum down. Exhale, reach up. Stretch through those legs. Good, Lorraine. Really nice. And then slowly release. Hug the left knee in towards your chest. Squeeze. Nice job. And then bend the right knee in with it. Good. Plant the feet. Yeah. And then arms alongside you, either in robot arms or with the palms flat. Good. So you're going to move in and out of bridge pose. So we're not going to do the arms up and over, but we're just going to breathe up and down out of the position. So setting the feet, setting the arms as you inhale from your armpits, begin to lift the spine, lift the hips up into bridge. Good. And then again, the point is not to do a big hold, but to lift up. And then exhale, release all the way down. Good, letting the pelvis really settle, thighs settle into the hip socket. And then inhale, rise up again, lifting through the armpits, lifting through the hips. Good, noticing how much there's a tendency to push through the tops of your thighs or squeeze your butt. Lower down, slow. Try to find here the thighs almost rolling in towards each other as the back of your spine hits the floor. And then again, rising up, breathing into bridge. Good, long spine. So drag your feet back. Good. And then release the hips back down to the floor. Whole spine comes back down to the floor. Nice job. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Good, roll forward and back on the spine. And find your way up to sit. Good. Scoot your butt back. So you're coming into straight legs in front of you. So scoot your butt back, legs out in front. Straighten the legs. And again, you can use a strap here if you'd like around the balls of the feet, or simply inhale the arms up to the sky. Good. Dig the heels down, bow forward, reaching towards the feet, the ankles, whatever you got. Good. Nice, you guys. Thighs move back. So again, the purpose here is to focus on, as you're stretching through the backs of the legs, pushing the pelvis backwards as you lean the torso forwards, because that's what's going to give you a sense of, again, stable balance. Since your torso is going to be coming forward in Revolved Trikonasana, the butt has to go back. Good. And then still in your forward fold, reach your right hand towards your left ankle. Right hand reaches for left ankle. Good. And then your left hand is going to come back to your left hip to begin. Good. Don't let your heels come out of line with each other. Twist your belly to the left. So you're turning towards that left leg. Good. Yep. Turn the ribs, turn the ribs, turn the ribs, turn the ribs. Keep your heels anchored down. Keep your butt pushing back. Good. And then maybe you take that left arm straight up to the sky if it feels like the twist of your shoulders allows for that. Or keep it at your hip and just really work that feeling of extension where your spine is as long as it can get. Your throat is pulling back. Good. Throat back, Joanne. That's it. Good. So it's like the right side of your belly is going to meet your left thigh. That's what you want to think of. Awesome. And then come back to center, forward fold. Good. That's where you'll notice if your heels came super out of alignment with each other. And then try the other side, left hand to right ankle. Good. And sometimes we do the same twist standing, right? So it's a little, if it feels a little different doing it this way, it's because you have to be more in charge of your pelvis. Right hand to your right hip. Good. Keep pushing your butt back, root the thighs down to the floor. Turn your belly to the right. Good. Don't let your heels come out of line with each other. So they've got to keep pressing down. You're squeezing into the lowest part of your belly, pulling your ribs in, twist the shoulders, throat back. And then maybe the right arm comes to the sky if that feels like a good place for it to be, or keep the hand right where it is. Good. Nice. Throat back, everybody. Yes. And then release back to center, please. Good job. Walk your hands up. Bend both knees. Bottoms of the feet come together. Let your knees go wide. Baddha Konasana. Good. And then forward fold again. You can choose here to hold the ankles if you'd like, or you can walk the arms forward. Good. I like that variation too, Lorraine. That's a good one. Yeah, let the shoulders be wide away from your ears. So again, the forward folding is coming from the lower spine lengthening, and it's less about the shoulders curling. Awesome. So making that stable position in Revolved Trikonasana, it's very similar to Parivrtta, which means our outer hips and thighs need to be a little bit more stretched. Otherwise, they're going to fight to keep us stable. Walk yourself back up, please. Good. Stretch your right leg straight out in front of you. Good. Bring your left knee up to face the ceiling. So left knee up, and then cross your left foot over the right thigh. Yep, left foot crosses over the right thigh. Right arm wraps around your knee. Left hand comes behind you, spinal twist. Good. So again, you're drawing that thigh in, and sending your butt down and back. And then you're lifting your chest and your belly up towards that thigh. So again, first principle of twisting is you want your spine to be as long as it can possibly get. Then you begin to twist. So how do you get it long? You pull from the upper body, from the shoulders, from the armpits, and you press down through the lower portion of the spine. You press down into the seat. Good. Come back to center. Keep the knee where it is. Just take both hands to the opposite side of your hips. So out to the outer edge of your right hip. Good. Still keep that knee squeezing in though. So you still want it pulling in towards your belly, even though you're leaning to the other side now. Good. And then come back to center, unwind the leg. Good. Stretch that left leg straight down to the floor. Bend your right knee. Bring it in. Cross the right foot over the left thigh. Good. Start with the left arm wrapping around the knee. Right hand comes behind you. Find your twist. Good. You still want to make sure that you can feel both sit bones on the ground here. So you're not drawing the knee in to a degree that your butt is popping up, and you're not twisting your shoulders or your hips enough where your other hip is not anchored either. So make sure you can still feel both sit bones. Good. Send your butt down and back and lift long through your spine. That's the strangest habit for us to get into, is actually holding the weight of our spine, holding the weight of our back with our back. Because usually we just give in to gravity and we start to sink. Good. Leave the knee where it is, but unwind your twist. Go the other way. So both hands to the outside of the left hip. Good. You're still not letting that knee fall open though. So keep it up. Keep it drawing inward rotation towards the middle of the body. Good. Shoulders relaxed. Nice. And then unwind, please. Come back to center. Good. Unwind that leg. Cross the ankles. Roll forward onto hands and knees. Come into a downward facing dog. Radical idea. Good. Pedal your feet. Nice. And then steady your heels. Good. And then take the right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. So even here, this is almost the same thing. You got to kick your thighs away from each other, but don't let your pelvis collapse. Low belly in. That's it. And then step the right foot between the hands. Good job. Good. Left heel comes flat. Baby toe parallels the back of your mat. Cartwheel the arms up to warrior two. Good. Nice, you guys. So here, turn the palms up facing the ceiling. Good. Bring your fingertips to the tops of your shoulders. So your elbows are still straight out in line with your armpits, or straight out in line with your shoulders. And then make circles. Good. All right. The other part of Revolved Trikonasana is that we do have to have some ability, some reach through the back of the shoulders. So if the upper back is very, very tight, it makes that end of the twist where the shoulders are opening, the chest is opening, very difficult. Good. And then come to steadiness, please. Lifting those elbows just a little bit higher, dropping through the shoulders, extend the arms back out wide. Good. Left hand drops down the back thigh, right palm spins up and back, reverse warrior, focusing on the length of your ribs here. So not so much about the legs, but can you reach long through the side body, which then brings you back to your legs? Because if you don't bring that thigh forward and down, then you're not getting the full stretch through the side body, through the pelvis. Good. And then come back up to center. Nice job. Straighten the front thigh. Good. Reach for triangle, traditional triangle, reaching through the right arm. Bring that hand down to the front leg floor or block. Left arm reaches to the sky. Good. And I want you to focus on, if your hand is on a block or it's on something solid, I want you to push down into that hand so that you feel your right rib cage pull up. So push down into the supporting arm so that you feel a lift. And if you don't have something underneath that hand, that's fine. Just keep reaching through your left side rib. So it's like you're pulling up towards the ceiling instead of dropping as low as you can. Good. And feel as though you're going to squeeze your hands towards each other just a little bit, almost like they're coming forward, like you're trying to squeeze them in. So you get that hug at the front of your chest, like your upper chest is trying to hug your arms in. That's it. And then rotate from your belly again. Open more. There it is. Nice, Kristen. Yeah. And then bend that right knee. Release the hands down to the floor. Both hands inside the front foot, please. Walk your hands to your left until you come to the center of your mat. Straighten the right leg. Turn your toes. So you're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Good. And then bend your knees so your butt goes back, your thighs drop parallel to the floor. Walk the hands forward a little bit more. Again, length on your spine. Keep the knees bent. I know, keep the knees bent. Butt goes back. Yeah, so Lorraine, don't let your knees come forward so much. Pull your butt back. That's it. Good. So you really want to feel that kind of sticky stretch through your lower back, through your sacrum. Beautiful. And then start to take the legs back towards straight without arching into your lower spine. So pull up through your belly, press your hips to the sky, straighten the legs. Good. Then maybe walk your hands out even a little further so you feel like you're in a full down dog, but you don't collapse into your pelvis. Nice. So again, that squeeze of the legs and that pulling up through the back of the pelvis is what's going to, again, keep the pelvis very stable when you are forward folding, as you're doing here. Walk your hands back in, please. Good. And then bring your hands to your hips. Come all the way up to stand. Nice. And then turn your left toes towards the back of your mat. Why not? Good. And then bend the knee, come into warrior two, second side, stretch the arms out wide. Good. Turn your palms to face up. Bend your elbows, take the tips of your fingers to the tops of your shoulders. And then whichever way you made circles last time, go the other way. And if you're not sure what you did, whatever your instinct is you would do the same thing. So do the opposite of your instinct. Good. Nice, you guys. So you want to feel that you're not just circling the arms, but it's the shoulder blades that are moving. It's your upper back that is circling. Good. And then come back to stillness, please. Lifting the elbows just a little bit higher. Stretch the arms out wide. Good. And then right hand drops down the right thigh, left palm spins up and back, reverse warrior. Good. Again, reaching through the whole side body, so dropping into that left thigh crease as well. Nice. Come back to center, please. Arms wide. Good. Straighten the front thigh, so you're moving back towards Trikonasana, triangle pose. Extend your left arm forward, so reach through the ribs, and then let the left hand come down to touch front leg floor or block, right arm to the sky. And again, if you have a block or something underneath your hand that you can actively push into that, even if it's a dog, push into that so that you have a feeling of lifting through your torso. And if you don't have something that you are physically pushing on underneath you, still pull up through that right rib cage, pull up through the top of your trunk, the top of your side body, the one that's twisted on top. Good. And then feel that hug again of the chest muscles, like you're going to squeeze your arms towards each other. So you're not getting locked in pulling your arms wide. You're actually squeezing in, and then rotate your ribs a little more. That's it. The more you squeeze in with your arms, the more you're going to feel that you have the power to rotate from your ribs. Good. Nice job. Bend that left knee, please. Release the hands down to the floor. Good. Walk back to your right. Come back to the center of your mat. Turn your left toes. Straighten the leg. A deep bow. Parivrtta Padottanasana. Good. Nice job, you guys. And then walk back towards the top of your mat, please. Turn the right toes forward. Good. Spin the back heel up. Step back to downward facing dog. Good. And then take your left leg up, down dog split. Yeah, left leg up. Good. And again, squeezing the feet towards each other, but press the thighs away. So lengthen. Separate the legs. Good. Nice job. And then step the left foot between the hands. Nice job. Good. Right foot steps forward just a little bit. Take both legs to straight. Parivrtta. Good. Using blocks under the hands. Great idea. And again, a focus here in rounding your back. So round into the backs of your shoulders, round into your low belly. Practice that feeling of pulling your hips up to the sky as you push down through your feet. Good. Nice, nice, nice. And now hands on blocks or the floor, come up on your fingertips. So just lift your spine super long. So like you're bringing your shoulders up level with your hips. Good. And again, push into what you have there. So push into the hands in order to lift up. And then pull the ribs in, pull the low belly in. Still scoop the lowest part of your belly to push your hips up to the sky. Good. Now pull your hips back and pull your armpits forward. Good. Armpits forward. Nice. Good job. And then bend the left knee, step your right foot forward alongside the left, standing forward fold. Good. Bend your knees. Fingertips drop down to the floor or block. So you've just got your hips nice and low, and then do a little bit of micro cat-cow there. Good. So again, pressing into the heels. It's a little bit of moving. Good. And then start to stretch the legs back up to straight, lifting through the hips. Nice. Now the left leg's going to step back behind you, Parivrtta. So the same pose, just second side. The left leg steps back just enough so that your legs can be straight, feet hip width apart, pelvis or hip points facing straight ahead. Good. And again, curl into your spine. So round into your low belly. As you round, send that top of your left hip spinning forward, or your outer left hip spinning forward. Good. So stay rounded. So again, this energy of pulling up is crucial in any forward fold or any balancing position, which this is. And when we add the twist to it, it's extra important because this is what's going to, the energy that's going to help hold the spine really stable. So round. Good. And then press your hands into the floor or blocks. And by pressing down into your hands, lift your chest. So now your shoulders are closer to in line with your hips. Good. Curl in, press the butt back and the armpits forward. Pull the armpits forward. Nice. Good, you guys. And then release again, please. Bending the right knee, step your left foot back to the top of your mat. Feet underneath the hips. Good. Bend your knees, drop your seat back for chair. Take the arms up alongside your ears. Good. So again, full back extension. Hips are pulling down, but armpits pulling up. Good. Hands to heart center, please. Good. Prayer twist. Right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Good. Again, don't let your knees slide away from each other so they stay in the same alignment. That's that getting the pelvis to stay really steady. And you're twisting from your ribs. So remember, if you squeeze in those armpit muscles, those chest muscles, then you can rotate from your core. Beautiful. Come back to center, please. Come up to stand. Stretch the arms to the sky. Good. So my purpose is not to fatigue you, believe it or not. And then bend the knees, drop back into chair. Good. And then hands to heart center without collapsing into that feeling of gravity. Stay really lifted through your chest. Twist the other way. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Good. And again, there's that squeezing of the upper back muscles. So you're pulling your armpits towards each other. You're pulling your arms, your shoulders towards each other in the middle of your back. And that gives you more availability to twist from the middle part of your spine, that you're actually twisting from your core, from your navel. Nice. Hips stay steady. Don't let that left knee slide forward. Good. And then come back to center, straighten the legs, come all the way up to stand. Nice job. Right hand holds left wrist and pull to your right. Yeah. Breathe through the side body. And then back up to center. Switch the hands and lean to your left. Good. Come back up to center, please. And then exhale, release the hands down to the floor, forward fold. Good. Step the right leg back behind you. And then take the left leg up, down dog split. Good. Yeah, again, I want you to work that action of pushing the legs away from each other because it's going to help stabilize the connection of the legs to the pelvis. Beautiful. Bend your left knee, kick your heel in towards your butt, stack the left hip on top of the right. Good. Again, cross body twisting in the opposite direction. Right now, your shoulders should be facing the floor as your pelvis opens. Nice. Point that left knee back at the floor, please, and then swing that left knee forward and wide for pigeon. So your knee goes towards your left wrist. Good. Sliding the right leg back. Good. Squaring or moving the pelvic points towards facing straight ahead, level with each other. You got it. And then walk your hands forward. Good. Long spine. Again, purpose here is that in order to feel that we can have full length on the spine in Revolved Trikonasana, we have to have an openness through the outer hips, through the pelvis. Otherwise, as soon as we start to come forward, that tightness at the legs or at the pelvis is going to stop our ability to move forward enough for the twist to really happen. So we can't get the spine long enough if the pelvis can't tilt, or if the hips are not in a position where they can hold us steady. Good. So if you were here for the class on Parivrtta, which most of you were, is everything that goes into that pose you need to have happening, and then we add the twist to it. Right? So this concept of building awareness and reconsidering if I'm going to add this extra element, or I'm going to add this extra deeper quality to what I'm doing, I have to reevaluate where I'm starting from. That's where we get that little bit of the meditative aspect of this, is you have to continuously reevaluate where you're starting from, right? Your thought process. You have to continuously recreate stability in order to continue to evolve. The attitude of the pose is to continuously reconsider, how am I starting so that I can have the greatest amount of length? I can have the greatest amount of space. Walk yourself back up, please. Good. Sit towards that left hip, swing your right leg around in front of you. So you're stacking the right knee on top of the left knee, Gomukhasana, so the knees should be on top of each other. If that position doesn't work, yeah, so knee over knee, you got it. If that position doesn't work, even with a prop underneath you, then you can take your, either do it on your back. That would actually be my next suggestion, is to do it on your back. But if you are staying seated, then you can take your left shin in front of the right. But on your back is better, in my opinion, because you're getting the same rotation on your legs you won't get in other variations sitting up. Good. Low back press to the floor. Nice, you guys. And then unwind your legs, squeeze the knees in towards your chest. Good. Roll forward and back on the spine. Bring yourself up to sit. Good. Roll forward onto hands and knees. So cross the ankles, come forward. Come back to downward facing dog. Good. Right leg comes up and back behind you, down dog split. Again, reaching that leg long if you can. Good. And then bend the knee, take your heel in towards your butt, stack the right hip on top of the left, and pay attention that your armpits don't go with you. So we're getting that cross-body awareness of what twisting really is. So your left armpit has to pull up, up, up. Nice. Good. And then point that right knee down towards the floor again. Nice. Take the right knee forward and wide, pigeon on the other side. And of course, you can do this on your back if necessary. Good. Sliding the left leg back. Good. Setting the pelvis very consciously and then walking the hands forward. Find your resting pigeon position. Good. The twisting positions, all of them, one of the benefits is that they squeeze the internal organs, they squeeze the internal spaces. So the concept is that by squeezing and then releasing is you're actually flushing the whole area with fresh blood, right? So you're compressing, and then when you release that compression, it allows for new experience, right? So it is often said that twisting is detoxifying for that reason. You're squeezing into tissue and then releasing. So all of the fresh blood is pushing out what maybe was stagnant and bringing in what's new and vibrant and necessary. The same thing is true of the emotional, mental, energetic place. Is that by constantly reevaluating, where am I in this moment? What does stable mean? What does flexible mean? Is we can actually squeeze into those places in the mind that say, this is what I thought was going to work all the time, and right now it doesn't. I have to reevaluate. So we let go of what is stagnant, and as we release that holding pattern in our mind, new energy moves in, and maybe we get inspired, or maybe we discover something different, right? We stay fresh, we stay alive mentally. Again, the attitude of the pose is constantly reevaluating. Walk yourself back up. Good. Sit towards that right hip, swing the left leg around so you can stack the left knee on top of the right. And again, if this position seated, it doesn't quite work for you, you can absolutely do it on your back. Just making sure the knees are crossed all the way on top of each other. So as the feet separate, and they don't have to separate a ton, right? But we're looking for that full internal rotation on the legs from the hip down to the knee. So the feet going wide is sort of staying in that orientation. So knees on top of each other. And low back presses to the floor. Good. And then slowly release, unwinding the knees, squeezing the knees in towards the chest. Good. Roll forward and back on the spine. Come up to sit. Cross the ankles, roll forward onto hands and knees. Press back, downward facing dog. Yeah, you got it. You're a little ahead of me, Lorraine, but you got it. Good. Right foot steps forward between the hands. Left foot steps forward just a little bit. Take both legs to straight, Parivrtta. So pay attention how you are setting your pose up so that your feet are as wide as your hips. Good. Pelvis facing straight ahead, hip points facing straight ahead. Good. And blocks are a great idea. The higher up you are, the more access you have to your spine. So if you have a block and you want to use it, great. So start this first one, bringing a block to the big toe right inside that right foot. Yep. And then you're going to bring your left hand to that block. Right hand comes to your hip. Good. So this is already a little bit of a twist of the torso. And if you wanted to, you could bring that left hand even wider, right? So keep it in line with your left hip and work from there if this feels a little off balance. Tops of thighs pull back, round into your low belly, push your sacrum up to the sky. Good. And then push your left hand down into the block so your armpit feels lifted. Now start to turn your belly to the right. Keep your right hand at the right hip. As your belly turns to the right, you have to widen that left inner thigh. Good. So keep turning your belly to the right, widening your left inner thigh. Good. Pressing into the left hand, the hand that's on the ground. Use your support and turn that right belly as wide as it wants to go. Keep pushing your left inner thigh wide. And then maybe the right arm comes to the sky here. Maybe it stays exactly where it is because it gives you more access to your spine. Good. So this is completely squeezing the armpits towards each other so that you can get into the trunk, twist from your ribs, from your belly. Awesome. Now just leave the hand at your hip, Kristen. Good. Come back to center, please. Nice job. Step forward, hang for a moment. Good. And then you're going to switch to the other side. So the right leg's going to step back behind you to Parivrtta. Good. And again, set yourself up well. Just because it's the second side doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve your attention. So right hip spins forward, pelvis facing as straight ahead as you can, feet hips width apart, scoop into the low belly. Bring a block right to the inside, the big toe of your left foot. And your right hand is going to come to that block, left hand to your left hip, and work the length of your spine. So your butt goes back, your sacrum pushes up to the sky, your armpits pull forward. Then you can start to turn your belly to the left, push into that right hand that's on the block or the floor. As you push into that hand, you get more access to your armpit. So you pull that armpit up towards the center of your back. And by pulling the armpits towards each other, you actually have more power to twist from your spine. Push your butt back. Good. Right inner thigh has to go really wide so that the hip doesn't turn with you. Good. Continuously reevaluate. Are you lengthening your spine as much as you can? It doesn't matter how deep the twist goes. Are you lengthening your spine? Good. And then release it forward again, please. Nice. Step forward to the top of the mat. Hang for a moment. Good. And then roll up the spine one vertebra at a time. Nice. So one more variation for this is you're going to go back to the first side, right leg forward or right foot forward, left leg back. So set your feet up for Parivrtta and set your block up. Either keep it right inside the big toe if that worked for you. If you want to go for a deeper twist, then you're going to bring the block to the baby toe side of your front foot. All right, so those are the options. So you can keep it inside the foot if that felt good, or take it to the baby toe side. Stay standing up. Good. Nice to have options. Good, you guys. So keep your right hand at your right hip. Stretch your left arm up to the sky. Good. And start to come into the twist first. So start to turn your belly to the right. Yep. Pressing through the top of the thighs back, pressing the pelvis back. And now start to lean forward, almost like you would for triangle. Extend all the way forward through the side body. Push the tops of your thighs back. You're still turning your belly to the right. And then bring that left hand down to your block. Good. So you start out extending your spine as long as you can and then come into the twist. A little different than being in the forward fold first. Good. Maybe it's no different at all. Nice. Push that left inner thigh wide. Good. And then slowly come all the way back up or release both hands down. Bring the hands to your hips. Come back up to stand. Good. And try the other side. Left leg steps forward, right leg steps back. Set your block up where you believe you want it to be. Again, inside the big toe is a little bit of a softer twist. To the baby toe is a little bit more of an intense twist. Good. Left hand to your left hip. That's to remind you to keep that left hip really wide. Right arm comes to the sky. So you're reaching as long as you can through that right side body. Good. So lift, 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 spine as long as it can be. Start to twist your belly to the left. As your belly twists to the left, push your right inner thigh wide. Good. And then lean forward. Find the forward fold. Take the tops of your thighs back. Front of the pelvis is going to tip forward. Still twisting the ribs from your navel. Right inner thigh goes wide. Let the right hand touch down to your block, wherever it is. And then once it's there, push into your hand so that you have the feeling of your armpit squeezing towards the middle of your back. Tops of the thighs go back. Good. Inner thighs push wide. Armpits forward. And again, maybe the left arm comes back up to the sky here. Maybe it stays exactly where it is. Good. Watch that your knees are not locked back, you guys. Yeah. And then release both hands back forward, please. Nice job. Step your right foot to the top of your mat. Go ahead, bring the feet together. Come up on your tippy toes, bend your knees out wide to a little squat if you can, hips dropping towards your heels. So it's like a little balancing Trikonasana. Good, hands to the floor. So you really got to be able to drop low here. Otherwise we kind of miss the point. There you go. Yeah. So you get into your lower back. Good, drop your shoulders inside your knees, walk your hands forward, round your back. So your heels are pressing down. So both Lorraine and Joanne, if you can bring your feet together, literally like you're in a little balancing Trikonasana. There you go, knees wide. Yeah, so now you can curl into your low back a little more. That's it, you got it. Hands walk forward for balance. Let your heels press down any amount, doesn't matter if they touch. Squeeze your knees in, round your back. You did a lot of lengthening through the spine, and that can feel like it's being overdone, especially if we're tight to begin with. Awesome. Walk your hands in, please. Very gently come down onto your butt. Roll yourself down onto your back. Yeah, all the way onto your back. Plant the feet. Good. Again, just a little gentle lifting up and down into bridge for a moment. Don't make it a big deal. Pressing into the arms, lifting the hips. Again, this is just to get a little bit of that activity into the glutes, the activity into the lower back. So lifting up, relaxing down. And then next time you lift up, pause and hold for maybe an extra breath. Good, and then slowly release the hips down to the floor. Let your spine settle for a moment. And then bringing the knees in towards your chest. Coming into a spinal twist, either with the knees together, or you can take your right thigh on top of your left, wrap the legs like you would for eagle. Good. So if you're doing that, you're scooting your hips over to the right and dropping your knees to the left. Yeah. So again, the nice thing about that is it just gives you a little bit more internal rotation, but knees stacked on top of knee is also perfect. Navel to spine. So even here on the floor, support your spine. Come back to center, please. Unwind the legs, let them twist the other way if you'd like. So left leg on top of right, scoot your hips over to the left, drop your knees to the right. Good, keeping the navel drawn in. So again, the lower back is supported, the lower spine is supported. And then come back to center, please. Knees in towards your chest. Come into happy baby just for a moment, knees wide. Reach for your ankles or your feet. Again, pressing the low back down to the floor. Good. And then hugging the knees in one more time, forehead up to meet your knees. Squeeze into yourself. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then as you release, relax the shoulders, stretch the legs out in front of you, arms alongside you, palms up. Rest in Shavasana. Very gently, let the awareness come back to the breath. Let the body begin to stretch and move in whatever ways serve it well. And as you're ready, draw your knees in towards your chest and roll to your right side. And take a moment there before you begin to push the floor away. Come back to an upright seated position. Hands resting at the heart center, palm to palm, or whatever mudra has been serving you well. So we think of that concept of revolving like a spiral staircase. As you revolve, you turn around and around and around, but you're turning around the same center. So you keep coming around to almost the same experience, but it's new every single time. So that ability to continuously rearrange our perspective or to reevaluate what center means, what balance means, what flexibility means, that's what it truly means to be present. And it's what it's actually meant by when we say we're building flexibility through yoga. It's not just through your muscles, it's the mind's ability to keep turning itself over and over and over. So that's what it means to revolve. Revolving is part of evolving. Every time you come across that experience and you make it new, right? You keep yourself in that state that is free to see things that are new. So this is the benefit of twisting in the metaphorical sense, and it's the benefit of poses like Revolved Trikonasana that are complicated because they're twisting. Requires us to reevaluate what we're doing and why, and who we think we are while we're doing it. So keep reevaluating your postures. Every time you come into the pose, it's brand new. It's never the way it was last time. And if that's what your mind is doing, your mind will stay fresh. It will stay awake. So that's what we practice doing, staying fresh, staying awake. We'll close the sound of Om, deep breath in. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your night, great rest of your week until I see you again. You have to unmute yourself to tell me how that went.
It was great. Thank you.
You took 10 years off my hips.
Awesome.
I don't know how.
10 more years, you'll have the hips of a 16-year-old or whatever.
No, she'll have no, I won't. Never mind.
Let her have it. She'll have the hips of a 16-year-old.
I was going to make fun of your age.
Yeah.
Am I going to say again? No, like I feel like in this class, what's supposed to happen in yin doesn't happen, but it happens here. I don't know if that makes sense. Like my tissue, is it the connective? What is it?
Your tissue feels like it's getting somewhere.
Finally, yeah, it finally just at one point, like,
Releases?
yeah, what's the pose? Pigeon. It actually felt like I could actually feel like my muscle.
The muscles stretching. Awesome.
No, I don't know.
Awesome.
Share that with
Like I said, go. I love it. Thank you very much. But go tell your friends.
Well, it's hard to brag about your class at other people's class. Like I did it at Carol's class one time, and I kind of felt like awkward.
Felt bad about it. Yeah.
But maybe hopefully I can make Wednesday. I'll brag about it Wednesday.
Maybe they should have something on the website where we can like post comments.
Yeah, we know we really need to have that a site for testimonials or a place for people to comment. I'll talk to our web people.
Yeah.
To the web.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you guys. I will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.